Askreddit by thought-provoking what was ruined by rich people? The price of housing. Either renting or owning, it's insane. Worldwide. Concerts, you can't even buy a beer at one for what a general admission ticket used to cost and people still pay for it. I stopped drinking at shows because of it. I have a couple beers in the parking lot, sip on a bottle of water in the show, and not go stand in the bathroom line every 45 minutes. Saves me a ton of money too. There used to be a really nice big park in the center of the city where I live. Everyone would go there, it was a nice open space, take your kids, take your dogs, enjoy the fresh air. Then some people from the rich part of town along the edges of the park decided they didn't like the noise coming from the park and pulled some bullshit to buy it out and walled it off so you couldn't go to the park unless you lived in that specific neighborhood anymore. The worst part is a ton of money was spent when they first bought it building it up, adding fountains and children's play areas and redoing the flower beds, and then no money or attention was given to it again and the whole place fell into disrepair, so now even if you live in the neighborhood you can't go there because everything is falling apart and overgrown. So the assholes took the really nice park from everyone else and then neglected it until it became a shithole in the middle of the city. Some of the country's best racetracks have dealt with this similar thing. Track gets built out in the boonies get bought and rich folk move in, complain about track noise, sometimes gets the track shut down. Personally, I believe some sort of it was here first regarding things like parks and racetracks should exist to stop this from happening. Renting. The overabundance of Airbnbs and $2,000 studio apartments in rural suburban places is outrageous and ruining the possibility for low income and working class people to have a roof over their heads. I live in New York State, and ever since COVID all these city richies are buying up all the cheap places in the country to try and make a profit as if they need any more money. Fuck Airbnb. Alternative title. Fucking regulated short-term rental markets. Thrift stores. My wife and I follow a TikTok account of this guy who just goes into various thrift stores to show how absurd it is. Mug with no handle for a 1995 graduation party $8.99. Used stick of deodorant $4.99. Used birthday candles taped back up in original packaging that was sold at Dollar General brand new for $3. You can snag those up for $4.99 at Goodwill. This YouTube video gives you a good idea of the bullshit they are doing. https://www.youtube.com/watch?1rebjec67k Clothing brands. Carhartt, Dickies, Levi's and many more. Like why did a Dickies shirt go from $15 to almost $40 in a few years? I remember not long ago Champion was the cheap Walmart brand no one wanted. Now it's an overpriced name brand. I don't understand it. Old school ski mountains with family vibes and stone lifties rocking to music. We always watched those silly ski patrol movies about the big corporations coming in and making them yuppieval, and then it happened. New people bought the local mountain and they were desperately trying to find guys to work there. Lots of people were interested until they found out there was a mandatory drug test. Imagine drug testing your ski bums in a legal state. Something tells me that policy is gone next year. I stopped going to professional sports because I can only afford shitty seats. Not worth the effort anymore. For a fun day out with you and a friend at an NFL game will run you around $500. Or you could watch it on your big screen TV at home, which has better play-by-play and angles than being at a game where you end up watching half of it on a monitor anyway. Unless I get tickets for free I don't even bother going to sporting events anymore. Theme parks. Gone are the days when everyone was equal and you all had to queue, regardless of your income. And even until recently some theme parks gave fast passes periodically throughout the day. Now if you've got deep pockets you can queue jump. making your day a little better and everyone else's a little worse. I haven't been to Disney since 2015 when they still had the free fast passes. My mum went earlier this year and I couldn't believe it when she told me how bad the system is now. Plus everything theme park related post-pandemic has been so crowded you can't even move. I wonder if it will ever be the same as before. Probably not though. Being poor. I can't even be homeless without trying to fight for a camping spot. Haha, there are rich folks camping in their Benz Sprinter in front my apartment as I type this. Instagram. When it first launched we were content to post grainy pics of our average looking sandwich that we made ourselves. Or a mundane selfie. The background and the angle didn't matter. Studies show that since the wealthy started sharing their lives on IG, our collective standard of living changed. And it's trickled down to our influencers mimicking wealth down to average users. We're exposed to yacht parties, expertly organized and color-coded walk-in closets, high-end facials and party plan gender reveals. We're benchmarking our posts with professional photographers and videographers, elevating our expectations for everything. Edit. For those saying, just don't use it, it's influenced every aspect of society whether you're on it or not. Collectively society aspires to a flashier existence. Instagram has inspired new aesthetic-forward businesses like restaurants and coffee shops, tourism, https://openaccess.nhh-xmlui/bitsstream/handle/11250/2678242/masterthesis.pdf question mark sequence 1 close bracket home decor and types of homes, gyms and gym bodies. Fashion. This underplays the hand Meta had in making sure Instagram developed this way. You can't even scroll your own feed anymore without seeing shit from people you don't follow and have no interest in following. It's inescapable now. Collecting. In the past few years the price of little collectibles and things of that sort have gone insanely high. Cards, action figures, you name it. Just look up any sub for a hobby and you'll see people dropping your entire salary in one day. Lego. I kind of collect it, but I know I will never own all of the figures and sets I would like, because they are locked away behind such insane amounts of money. Music festivals. Used to be a bunch of hippies having a good time and doing drugs. Now it's rich kids taking selfies dressed as hippies and doing drugs. Bikerrallies too. Bikers used to be poor, grizzled, war vets with a chip on their shoulder, and their bike was everything. Now it's a bunch of yuppie ass lawyers and tech bros that ship in their Harley Davidson on a trailer and fly into the event, and pretend to be tough guys for the weekend. The standard of living for everyone else. Montessori schools. The method was created to be able to teach poor orphans well despite little funding. Now it's some sort of elite schooling for $20K plus a year. Concerts and sporting events. Even NASCAR tickets are expensive now. The housing market. Just the economy in general TBH. Once the rich find out about anything good, they wreck it for the rest of us. Sex. Drugs. Rock and roll. Internet. Environment. Internet was the one I was going to go with. Back when the internet was just losers who had no other place in society, everything was cool. You knew the only people online were people who genuinely wanted to be part of the community and subculture. Then the rich people found out about it, and now it's nothing but ads, subscriptions fees, data gathering, and rich people pretending to be hip. Any hobby where there's potential profit. Now you've got dickheads like the Logan Paul ruining Pokemon cards. Not because they are into them because they like Pokemon, but because they read the stories about the rare cards and just hammered their endless piles of cash into getting everything. Same with those asshole sheiks with massive comic book collections. They don't give a fuck about comics. They just collect popular valuable stuff. Carl Jobst had a good video on this for vintage video games. Basically, a new grader named Water Games came out of nowhere, claimed to be the lead in the industry for rating in-box games. Entirely false. Multiple others already existed, and the owner had zero history. Any game Water listed was sold by Heritage Auction House for over $1 million. You used to be able to get a new in-box Mario Bros. NES game for like $1,000 if someone was selling. Now they're millions a piece. Until they got sued. Very much a plainly obvious scam. Burning Man was the first thing I thought of when Mark Zuckerberg is helicoptering into staying a billionaire camp with air-conditioned mobile homes. Burning Man has lost whatever counterculture standing it had. Cheap foods, like chicharrones or taletano. I'm from Mexico. When I was a kid, taletano was something that were even gift and meat market. Now they sell you a damn bone in meat price or even higher. The same with chicharron. That was really cheap to buy, but with rich people discovering how good it is, now is impossible. All places up the prices because rich people buy it at high rates, and don't know what the heck they are shopping anyway. Brisket used to be a leftover cut given to the workers who figured out how to make it awesome. Now we have brisketflation and rich people smoking them on their $1,500 Bluetooth enabled pellet smoker. 80s and 90s cars. The market is super hot right now and all the rich guys are buying them up. Sorta like 50s and 60s cars in the 90s. This seems to be the norm once cars reach around 25 to 30 years old. People that grew up with these cars are now in their 40s and can afford to pay for them. Edit. Okay, obviously the car has to be desirable or somewhat rare for this to hold true. Can't just buy an early 2000s Corolla and expect it to be worth begin 20 years. Unless it's a Toyota Corolla Matrix XRS. These cars are hidden gems and might be worth something in the future. Trust. Almost everything that has anything to do with money at this point. Nerd paraphernalia like Star Wars or Marvel DC stuff, action figures, comic books, etc. Used to be just a fun hobby for kids and kids at heart. Now it's almost totally purchased by richer, dedicated speculators solely for profit. I feel like this is driving up the price of Legos too, with the rise of more expert designer sets and whatnot. It makes me very sad. I loved Legos as a kid but now I'd only be able to afford the buckets of stuff. The creativity buckets are nice but I love the sets. I want to be able to build a Harry Potter set but they are also damn overpriced. Everything really. Moffats have more money than common sense and jack up the prices for the rest of us.